Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams. Going to have a D power chord essentially. You're not going to have your middle finger on there for the D. Then it's going to be an A, which is going to be your A string, your D string, and your G string. That's the verses. The chorus is going to be a B minor, an A, a D, and a G. There's a little bridge in there, thinking it would last forever, whatever it says there. We're young and bored. So that's going to be an F, a B flat, and a C. Now, if you want to play, you know, the kind of open-y partial bar chord F, you can. The B is tough to get around. You can scrooge away with a power chord, and then an open C, or any combination thereof. I think you're coming along with your bar chords, so I would do the F, the B flat, and the C just like that. It's how's that go? Anyhow, we'll cover that. So the intro, it's really just 2 hits on that, as far as open hits on that D with mute, and you can mute with the right hand and the left hand at the same time. Again, whatever gets you to get the beat of the song. It doesn't matter if he mutes the whole thing with his left chording hand and you mute some of it with your right hand and your left hand. It doesn't matter. If you get the same rhythm and sound, or at least a close enough proximity, but generally you can get the same thing, whatever's comfortable for you that gets you through. So I'll play through it and then we'll talk about it. Okay, so that's so after the D, you're doing kind of a muted tap on the D string. After the A, you're doing a muted tap on the A string. And in that, I'm using the back of my right hand because that gives me a place to hang out. You can do it as all downstrokes, or you can do it as back and forth strokes. That Steve Stein guy that I sent you, I'm always trying to figure out, because my right hand is slow as could be. My left hand, I think, would be able to move faster if my right hand would. You know, kind of thing. I tend to chase my right hand with my left hand, and my right hand can only go so fast. And I watch some guys with their right hand, and they do absolute micro movements. Generally, they're on these, you know, high-end guitars that are set up to barely touch them to make a noise. They've got amplifiers that are, you know, through the roof, so they're just hoping you breathe on a string to be able to make a noise. And they're those light touch, you know, fly-in fingers sort of guys. But that Steve Stein, he's got a bit more movement in his right hand. And as I watched him, I think that he goes at the strings kind of the same way you'd strum a guitar. And if we can do, right? It's not, even if it were fast. We can do that, so if you can do that in a smaller motion, it seems easy. It's more efficient. You're coming past the string anyhow to hit it down again, so If you can train yourself to hit it, it's better. So. And if you get outside of that string, the rest of it's still your D chord anyhow, so you're doing okay. And then same thing on the A. Sorry, stuck in there. And just keep it even. And I suppose that, right, that's 8. And then the Standing on Your Mama's Porch, blah, 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 is going to go to a B. Goes into a D arpeggio we'll cover in a minute. So that's a B minor down to the A to our D to a G with a paintbrush stroke is what I always consider it. Right, it's covering up and down and up and down and up and down. It just makes me think of a paintbrush. But anyhow. It does it again. And those were the best days of my life. And at that point, it goes into this, using the D we were on. But what it's doing is throwing the middle finger down onto the E string, throwing the pinky finger down on the E string, taking the pinky finger off, taking the middle finger off, and then doing the same thing on the A chord. I know I play the A differently than you do, so set yourself up so that you can simply strum it how it was. You're going down onto the 2nd fret of the B string. Well, first you're open on the B string, 2nd fret of the B string, 3rd fret of the B string, 2nd fret of the B string. And let me hear it and I'll figure out whether it goes to opens or not. Yes, so open, middle, pinky, middle, open, middle, change. And it's open, middle, pinky, middle, open, middle, change. And then back to the right. And then the only other thing is the bridge at the end. I forget all the lyrics, but it climaxes with "Thought it would last forever, forever," or "We're young and bored." What that section, anyhow. That's going to be an F, a B flat, and a C, right? And then it again goes. Sorry, kids came in to say goodnight. So I think we're I think that's pretty much the whole song. I think the little bit of soloing that gets done in there is pretty easy, but I haven't really dug in. I don't know that it's much more than but maybe up here. So where would it be? Something up in there. So yeah, that it would be 13, 15, 12, 13, 15, 12, 13, 15. That's why I got into this guitar, actually, because that when I would go to the 15th, I'm actually quite high. It should be a G. I'm fine on my E. Yeah. So that's fine there, and it just starts screaming up, and by there, I'm like from a G note to the other side of your circle on your tuner, I'm better than halfway there. So I'm good and flat at a 12, you know, at an E right there, and just coming up to the 15, my G goes way sharp, and I still have some height, you know, string height to adjust on this. I brought the bridge down more, but not quite enough, because I've got a belly going on here as well, just a touch. Nothing too severe. I steamed the heck out of it and put a brace across here to push that down a bit. I've got a little bit of dipping on the bridge, so that, as with all guitars, I don't treat them well. That's why I don't own a single, you know, $4,000 guitar or something, is because I don't treat them well. This has been out to the fire at camp, is the one I usually bring. It had a crowbar dropped on it by accident. I don't recall what happened there that smashed that. The neck, I noticed today, has been repaired in the past. This is a second-hand guitar, so it was starting to come apart. I could see it back here. So I went and drilled through the heel of the neck and into the neck reinforcement inside the body, and passed a screw in and put a tensioner on the other side so I can hold that together and be sure. Like I showed you, I went ahead and added this Luan brace with some hide glue, so if for any reason it all fails, it's easily separated, not like the newer glues that tight bonds and stuff that just are stronger than the wood. But eventually it'll cause trouble back here, right, because I've got it pushing on back here. But I did glue everything, so hopefully it's also pulling, right, because it's not just wedged in between and shoving, it's attached to both. So hopefully, and it's right next to a brace. It's all I can do is hope. But that's why that sounded wrong up there. Anyhow, that's it. Try, you know, swinging back and forth over that and seeing if you can get a you know, useful pattern going. It's not too fast, right? And it's a good thing to practice on to get that right hand moving. And sometimes turn the pick a touch and you'll have less drag, but um, hopefully you can hold this loose enough that goes all right. And finally, this pick I had, where'd we go? I had put just a touch of that self-vulcanizing tape around it, and it was pretty awesome. Um, but it was some cheap self-vulcanizing tape that a buddy of mine's father, I think, bought me like 20 years ago. And it was always one of those, I don't know what the hell I'll use it for, but when I need it, it'll be there. And so I never used it really for anything. But now it is like smooth as could be. The pick itself has better grip than that vulcanizing tape. Probably if I used a little dish soap on it, it would rejuvenate it. But I'm really amazed at how slick it is now that I've been using it for a while. It's probably been, I don't know, 5 months or so. So it's not bad if you like the rubber covers on a pick and you like a particular pick. Some self-vulcanizing rubber tape works out pretty well. Anyhow, see ya.